all your colleagues this week, I've been asking them off the bat, what's your leadership mantra? What's your oath of leadership? When I say leadership, what's that mean to you?
I think it's serving others and helping others get where they want to go. And that sounds kind of cliche, but it's you're not need if it's just getting you where you want to go as an individual, as a leader, and you think everybody's there is to help get you, make you successful. To me, that's really a shallow approach. We talk a lot in our department about we want to create great experiences, and I think to do that you got to invest in other people, make sure their experience is great, and that's got to start at the top and got to be modeled at the top.
Mm-hmm. Create great experiences, obviously for fans in your case, student athletes, but also for the people working there too. Is it?
Absolutely.
What is that?
Yeah, it's almost an internal marketing philosophy that your external constituents are your end user, but your internal constituents in a service market are the ones who are providing that experience to your external constituents, and so you got to make sure their experience is really positive, and because they're going to be the ones out there touching the people who care about your program, and they're going to be providing that service, if you will, and so we got to make sure that they're having a great experience, a great work experience, one that's very fulfilling, one that gives them satisfaction, one where they enjoy coming to work every day. But at the same time, you got to make sure there's some energy there, and people aren't taking anything for granted. That they understand they gotta do their job with a sense of urgency, but at the same time make it a really enjoyable place to work.
Are there leadership principles around making that happen? How do you make that happen, or does it just happen?
No, I think you have to invest in your people. I think you have to be concerned and care, and you got to make sure that you're helping them achieve their goals individually and personally, and hopefully get them invested in our athletic department's goals so they can help accomplish that, and they can get a sense of satisfaction from being a part of that.
Along those lines, what's the importance of seeing your community as a resource, and how do you leverage your community to drive the results you want?
By community, are you talking about our campus at large?
Yeah, maybe not people in your department, but the community, the people who are your fans, people who come to games. It can be the rest of the students.
So ask your question again. I'm sorry.
Using them or seeing them as a resource, and how do you leverage that to drive results?
Well, we need everybody engaged at a high level, and it starts with our student athletes and our staff that we talked about. But you got to, if those two groups are successful and achieving at a high level, you're gonna really be able to engage your student body, your faculty on campus, your alumni, and the people who love your school. They're going to want to come and be a part of it and have a lot of pride. And obviously, when they come and they fill your stadium and they provide private dollars and a lot of the resources that we need to be successful, it allows you to do so much more, and it creates a wonderful energy that makes, in my opinion, makes college athletics really special.
Mm-hmm. Good. Change. Talk about change. It's about people. How do you engage people to drive change?
Well, change is a tricky thing. There's an old saying: people are all for change as long as it doesn't impact them, and and obviously that doesn't work. So, there's something very healthy about change, and when you present change, you need to be able to help people understand why that's going to be better and beneficial. It may be uncomfortable, but you need to let them see the payoff. The first person that ever tried anything, people think they're crazy until it works, and then suddenly there's buy-in. And so as a department, anytime as a department we're trying to create change, people may look at it uncomfortably. They don't like it. And so you've got to introduce it, in my opinion, on a regular basis, the thought of change on a regular basis, so people begin to see a history of success with change and continue to do that, and eventually people buy in a little bit quicker.
On the subject of communication, I know it's very important. How do you communicate to others knowing that not everybody thinks alike and may not like your own leadership approach?
No, you're exactly right. You're never going to have 100% approval of anything that happens, of any decision. Somebody's not going to like it. So at the end of the day, you've got to, as an athletic director, you've got to you got to make a decision that you think is best for the university and best for the young people that you're serving. And that may mean it's not best for you personally, but if it's best for the school and it's best for the student athletes, then that's the right decision to make. I mentioned the great experience. We try as a department, every decision we make, every time we invest a dollar, we ask ourselves, how is this impacting the experience for one of our constituents? Starting with the student athletes, but also our staff and then our external constituents. And if the answer is we don't know, then that's probably not a path we need to go down. But if it's something we think is really going to impact that experience in a positive way, whether it's a conventional decision or not, we tend to go down those paths.
As we finish up our high performance teams, leading high performance teams, what's the importance of being aware of the way people feel like on your team and the value of focusing on people?
Yes, that's a very important one. It's not easy all the time. I may see something, you may see something totally different, and I can't understand why you see it different. And for me to understand that, we've got to have conversation. I've got to be able to look at something from your point of view, and that's not always intuitive, and it takes work. And so, I guess communication is a big part of that, and the ability to, in an unemotional way, ask people what's important to them and why they see things the way they do, and try to relay why you see it the way you do. I had a good friend one time use the analogy of the mountain guide. The guy who takes people up to do these hikes, and the guide has been at the top of a mountain hundreds of times. He doesn't have to go back up to the top of the mountain for himself, but his job is to make sure the people that have paid him to be their guide, make sure those people get up to the top of the mountain. And so I think to do that, you've got to understand what your goals are. You got to ask people who are underneath you and people who are highly motivated in your department. We deal with a lot of type A personalities with coaches. We got to ask them, what are your goals? What do you want to accomplish? What can I do to help you accomplish that? Sometimes the way they want to go about it is not a way that we can provide. And so we've got to have that compromise conversation. Hey, is there another way we can get this done that doesn't really fit in your current vision, but allows you to get where you want to go and allows us to satisfy whatever our concern is from a university standpoint? But again, that comes back to you got to have that communication, because at the end of the day, we want to see them be successful. We want to help them get where they want to go.